Now let's come to a mudra of patience today. If you'd like to, right? These are always optional. But if you'd like to enter into your mudra of patience, what you would do is connect the middle finger and thumb here. Flip the palms face up, rest the backs of the hands to the thighs, the knees. Just make sure that you're not rounding forward or pulling the shoulders too far back. So just find that happy medium wherever it is on the legs that works for you. And then just take that big inhale, pull the shoulders up, align the spine. So really try to make your spine nice and tall here. And then exhale, sort of just sink everything down and in, and keeping your spine nice and long. And start to close the eyes. And we're going to start our practice here with 3 big deep breaths. A big inhale through the nostrils. And a deep exhale out of the mouth. Let's do 2 more like that. Big inhalation. And exhale, really try to release. 1 more. Full breath in. And then a full, long, deep breath out. Let's immediately become aware of any sensation, tension we may feel in the jaw and the muscles of the face. Relax the jaw. Many of us clench or grind in our teeth in our sleep. So let's try to relax that a little bit, maybe taking some movement in this region of the body. Unfurrow the eyebrows. And then again, let's try to lift that spine nice and tall. So you're going to align the vertebra and then just relax the muscles around the bone. Let's pull the scapulas, the shoulder blades back toward each other. So we're melting the shoulder blades down the back towards the tailbone. And take a few deep breaths into the belly, into the chest, just to soften this region of the body. And then take notice of the low body, ready if you have to wiggle around at all, just to find your roots, your center, your grounding. And then begin to find your breath. Right, we're not going to control it just yet, but come to a gentle observation. Are you breathing deeply? Or are you taking shallow breaths? In our society, we typically take very short, shallow breaths. Let's try to deepen now. Inhale fully. Try to breathe into the belly, into the chest. And exhale, make sure that you release all of that air before we take the next sip in. I think that's another thing that we tend to do is we breathe in fully, but then we don't breathe out fully to really cleanse all of that. So make sure that you're exhaling completely. And then we're just going to stay with these deep, mindful breaths this morning. And when the brokenhearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer. Let it be. Now, many of you know that this is a direct lyric from the song Let It Be by the Beatles. Now, I'm using this song as my inspiration for my teaching today. Now, when you encounter a frustration about which you can, for the present moment at least, do nothing, are you able to be patient and trusting? Or do you fret and worry the situation? It's easy to let it be only when we have complete trust in our own integrity, when we have complete trust in the integrity of the universe. When we trust our own integrity, we can do exactly what feels right to us without being too attached to what others think. And when we trust the integrity of the universe, we can then relinquish that need to control the outcome of every situation. Then we can sort of more calmly wait for insight and guidance. Now, Just for an example, if somebody is speaking negatively about you, judging you, remember that the less attention you give the problem, the more energy you'll have, because the less energy you're feeding into that negativity. Don't even waste your energy trying to defend yourself. Just let it be. Let's take our hands to our heart space and take a moment to simply observe maybe any recent situation in which you felt that you couldn't fully let it be. Let's internally repeat to ourselves here. Sometimes patience and trust are my best defenses. And then we'll take a moment to set our intention here. And maybe it's to be a little bit more mindful of these situations, to learn to sort of just let it be when they occur, to become the observer instead of someone who's attached and engaged within the negativity. And if you'd like, we'll start our practice here with the sound of Om, inviting a deep breath in. Very gently opening your eyes. And just bring some movement back in. If you're following along with music at home, let's get started on the second song down. And then from here, we're all going to meet in a child's pose. So we're coming right hips to heels. We'll get started a little differently today. So take your time in arriving. Again, knees to mat distance apart, big toes to touch, and you're going to sink those hips all the way back to the heels. Now, if you find some space here, you can always roll up a blanket if you'd like. And then you're just going to walk the hands all the way out, forehead down. Now, as soon as you arrive in your child's pose today, I want you to become aware of sensation in the hips and become aware of sensation in the shoulders. Okay, you may feel tight and tense, being that we usually hop into this posture after we've opened up these regions of the body. So on that next inhale, let's come to all 10 fingertips. You're going to lift the forehead, the forearms, the elbows up, and hollow out the back a little bit here. And then exhale, you're going to come right back down. I'm going to do 2 more like this. So let's take a breath in between. So just breath in your regular child's pose. And then inhale, open up, hollow it out. And exhale, drop right back down. Full breath here, big inhale. And a deep exhale. One more time, inhale, just hollow it out. And then exhale, we're going to drop down again just for one more breath. And then we're going to meet tabletop position. So nice and slow. Start to lift those hips up, walk those hands back, and knees shimmy more towards the center of your mat. Now let's start out with some gentle sways of the hips here. You're taking your time, especially if you're feeling tension in the hips. And then we're going to start to rock half moon circles back to the heels over one side of the body, back to the heels over to the other side. And then just continue to rock and sway here. And then if your body feels ready for it, you can come full circle back and around. And then if you are swaying full circle, let's just come the opposite direction. And one more full time around. And then that left hand's going to ground down into the earth. Let's inhale the right hand up to the sky. Feel the fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Take this right arm down and under. You're going to soften to that right cheek, right shoulder. We're just going to stay for 3 breaths. Really try to relax into the shoulder. We're feeling any tension leaving that we may have brought up in that first child's pose. And then we're going to anchor that left palm to the earth. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Now on the exhale, let's reach the right hand forward, fingertips face the top of the mat. Right palm faces the left edge of the mat. Now we're going to ground down through that right knee and inhale, left leg back. Then let's clench a fist and simultaneously rotate that wrist and the ankle and then just come back the other way. So just a quick little loosening of the joint. And then inhale, we're gonna reach. So flex the fingers, point the toes. Exhale, hugging around, pull the limbs under the body. Let's take 2 more like this. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, activate. 1 more deep inhale. And then exhale, round it out. On that next in-breath, we're just gonna lengthen, and then out-breath, drop the limbs. Let's take a body breath here. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale out of the mouth. Right hand drops down. We're gonna do the same thing opposite side. Inhale, left arm's gonna reach. And then exhale, thread the needle. Again, you're sliding this left hand down between the right knee, the right hand, softening to left cheek, left shoulder. You can always take a pillow or a block if you have it underneath that left side of the face if you can't come all the way down. And allow 2 breaths here. So again, we're not here very long. And then we're gonna anchor that right palm into the earth. Inhale, engage right arms and that left hand to the sky. And then exhale, left arm reaches forward. So again, palm's gonna face the right edge of the mat. Let's ground down to this left knee. So if you have to shimmy the knee at all. And then you're gonna inhale that right leg back. Activate, so hug the ribs up and in. Clench a fist, rotate the ankle and the wrist. Then just come back the other way. So just a quick release of acidic gas buildup. And then inhale, flex the fingers, point the toes. Exhale, knee to the elbow into the body. Let's take 2 more. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, hugging around. 1 more like that. Big inhale. And then exhale, squeeze it in. Next inhale, we're gonna lengthen. Exhale, drop those limbs down, and we're sinking back, child's pose. Hips to heels, any variations to move. This time you want to keep the knees together, reach the arms back, forehead down. But only if that works for you, so whatever feels good. And then as you invite your next inhalation in, we're gonna come right to tabletop once more. Option to take maybe 3 or so rounds of cat-cow, then we're all gonna meet up and back in downward facing dog. So if you don't wanna take cat-cow, you can always just come right to our Adho Mukha Svanasana. Otherwise, take your time, warm up the spine just a little bit, and then meet up and back. And just start to create some space in your down dog. Okay, so what does that mean for you? Maybe you shake the head, yes, no. Maybe you bend the knees towards the center of your mat, so take a little twist of the hips. Maybe you bend the knees deeply, come forward to a plank pose. Let's allow maybe 3 more breaths, just taking what we need here. And on that next inhale, let's lift high to the tippy toes. Nice and high, keep pushing the heart space back. Then exhale, bend the knees, so push the hips up and back. And then inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Energy of the heels draws down, take a breath, and we're gonna do that same thing 2 more times. So inhale, lift the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, push the earth away with the hands. Inhale, fluidly come forward to your plank pose. Exhale here. And then tail end, pull right up and back, down dog. 1 big breath, and we're gonna do this 1 more time. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, push the earth away. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Now this time, exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Let's come through our first little mini flow. Inhale all the way to the belly, open the heart. And now exhale, we're gonna stay here. Good. On that next inhale, let's hover the palms here. And then on the exhale, you're gonna reach the arms out into a T. Inhale, come back in, elbows towards the ribs. Exhale, reach it out. 1 more time, we're gonna inhale, lift, and then exhale, drop those hands, sink back, downward facing dog. Hips up to the sky, head down towards the earth. Let's take a body breath. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale out of the mouth. Next in-breath, let's walk the hands back to meet the feet. So bend the knees as much as you need, whatever gets you to the back of the mat. Right? There's no right or wrong way. It's whatever feels best for your body. And then we're gonna hang heavy here. Now let's come into a quick visualization, a little bit of a cleansing of the energy in our Uttanasana. So I want you to inhale, envision a divine light energy coming up through the soles of the feet. That energy is gonna come up the legs
into the hips, then down the spine and out of the crown of the head. Now, I find the best way to visualize this clearing would be to inhale, visualize a white or golden light, and then exhale, releasing out of the crown, maybe a darker shade of light, maybe a gray or black or brown. And then each time you inhale, you're pulling and cleansing out your energy. Each exhale, you're releasing anything that's stuck, blocked, anything you're holding on to that you don't want, don't need. Let's take one more, only it's gonna be a cleansing breath. So big inhale, pull that light energy up. Exhale, out of the mouth, pour it out. Inhale, rolling round. We're coming up nice and slow. As you're all the way up, take that shrug or two to the shoulders, pull it all the way up and back. And then we're gonna shift the feet to mat distance apart. So you can either step the feet out or toe heel the feet out, or just align the outer edges of the feet with the outer edges of your mat. Once you're here, inhale, hands to the sky. We're gonna interlace the fingers up and overhead, breathing in to push the hands up. Now exhale, lean to the right. Try to keep the hips where they are. So you're really only moving the torso up here. Next, in breath, come back to center. And out breath, little lean to the left. Inhale, take it back to center. Now on the exhale, we're gonna push those palms forward, round out the upper back, the shoulders. Again, don't move the hips. Inhale, come all the way back up. Now we're gonna exhale into a twist. So exhale, release the grip. Right hand's gonna reach diagonally towards the earth near the left foot, left ankle, and right hand, excuse me, and the left hand up. Now try to relax the head. So you're not cocking the head and looking anywhere, you're just more surrendering. Big inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, rolling round, come all the way up. Again, you always take these movements at your own pace. Shrug or two with the shoulders. And then same thing, opposite side. Inhale, reach all the way up. Interlace those fingers. Next, inhale, big reach the sky. Exhale, lean to the right. Now, same thing, hips stay square. Don't move the hips. You're not pushing that left hip over. Inhale, come back center. Exhale, little lean to the left. Big breath in. Big breath out. Next, inhale, come back center. And then exhale, you're going to push and round just the upper back. So you're not pushing the hips back, just the upper body. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, let's release. Left hand's gonna reach towards that right foot, right leg, and right hand up. Couple breaths, just deepen into your twist, deepen into the hamstrings. One more inhale. Exhale, drop that right hand down. Let's shimmy the feet back underneath the hips. Once you arrive, inhale, flat back, open up. And then exhale, forward fold, little bend to the knees. Let's inhale, walk it out to plank pose. Good, exhale for plank. We're gonna hold plank for one more inhalation. And then if you'd like, you can exhale, take a flow to down dog, or just come right up and back to down dog. Let's say 3 or so breaths. From your down dog, inhale, right heel to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip. Make sure you're not drawing weight into that left shoulder. So keep equal distribution into both hands, both arms. Let's trace a big circle or two with that right kneecap. Just lubricating the hip joint, big circle or two, back around. And then we're gonna inhale, lift that right leg nice and high, flex the foot, exhale, knee towards the nose. Let's round the spine, pull the shoulders over the wrists, engage the belly. And then inhale, send it up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, drop it down, down dog. Take a body breath, inhale through the nostrils. And let it go out of the mouth. Same thing, opposite side. Inhale, left heel's gonna lift. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Square off the shoulder, so don't lean to the right. And then we're gonna trace a big circle or two with that left knee. And a big circle or two the other way. And next inhale, let's lengthen left leg, square the hips, flex the foot. Exhale, round that spine, pull that knee all the way forward, hollow it out. And then inhale, 3-legged dog, send the left foot up and back. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more body breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, out of the mouth. Next inhale, let's walk nice and slow to the top of the mat now. So take your time. And then as you arrive, you're just gonna inhale, rolling around all the way to stand. So coming all the way up to Tadasana here. And then you're just going to run through a sun V variation. So I'm not gonna be moving with you guys. You're gonna inhale, reach both hands all the way to the sky. Really lift the fingertips. Exhale, fold, come all the way down. Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Little bend the knees on the next inhale. Step right foot back to a lunge position. Exhale, left foot steps back to meet, either to down dog or to plank. And then we're going to inhale either where we are or rolling forward to plank pose. And exhale, take your flow. And then we're up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so again, that'll be the option really for the remainder of the class. Whenever I guide you to step back, you can either inhale back to plank, okay, take a moment in your plank, or you can step back to down dog, you would exhale back, and then inhale, come forward. Let's take one more breath here. And then you're just gonna inhale that right heel up to the sky. Exhale, round it out, knee to the nose, step that foot top of the mat. Inhale, straighten right leg. Exhale, left foot steps forward, fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way to stand, hands to the sky. Let's lift high to the tippy toes, so reach as high as you can to the ceiling. And then exhale, drop the heels, part the palms, come all the way down, forward, fold. Same thing other side. Inhale, flat back first. And exhale, relax, Uttanasana. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, big stride back with that left foot. Good. Exhale, right foot steps back to meet. Again, to plank or down dog. You're either going to inhale for plank or inhale, shift forward to plank. And then exhale, take your flow. And if you step back to plank, that just means that you're in plank for an extra half breath as opposed to being in down dog for that half breath. Take a breath or two here. And then we'll finish up this study in Namaskar. Next inhale, left heel lifts high to the sky. Exhale, pull that knee all the way forward, round it out, squeeze the belly, step the foot top of the mat. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, right foot steps to meet, forward fold. Inhale, all the way to the sky. Let's lift high the tippy toes, get really stretch, reach. And then exhale, drop to the heels for our hands to heart space. You're gonna close the eyes for just a moment here. And take a moment to observe the fact that the asana practice, right, which is ultimately a very small part of the yoga practice, how it allows us to sort of quote unquote let it be. Okay, notice your body. Have you thought of any worries since you stepped on your mat? Okay, when we get caught up in the practice of asana, in the flow, the vinyasa, we tend to let it be naturally. So let's embrace that today. Drop the palms. Let's rock from toes to heels, toes to heels. Just take a little grounding here. And then once you relax all the way down to the entirety of the sole of the foot, we're going to inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. And exhale, fold, come all the way down. So you can always part the hands, for our hands lead. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend in the knees. Let's inhale, take a big step back with that left foot. Step a big. You're going to anchor yourself in. Let's come to just hover the fingertips here. Right, so what I want you to try to do is not use this right quad as a crutch. We tend to just relax all of our weight onto that. Plug the shoulders in. Big inhale. And then exhale, left hand down to the earth. Inhale, right hand to the sky. So we're just going to come right into a quick twisted lunge. Now we're still just opening and warming the body. So we're not going anywhere too intense just yet. Big inhale, maybe lean back a little further. Exhale, right hand down, frame the foot. Inhale, step back again, either to plank or down dog. If you're in down dog, next inhale, you would shift forward. And then exhale, take your flow. And again, that never means that you have to flow. And I feel like I become redundant, but I never know who doesn't hear that message. But if you need child's pose, please take it. We have to honor ourselves when we need rest. Certainly a lesson that I learned the last few days. So again, everything on the mat translates off the mat. Oftentimes it takes a little bit of work to finally figure it out off the mat though. So honor yourself, be patient with yourself. Next, inhale, we're going to either bend the knees and then top of the exhale, hop to the top of the mat. Otherwise, nice and slow, just walk those feet back to Uttanasana. As you arrive, inhale, root to rise, all the way up to the sky, fingertips to the ceiling. Now this time we're gonna keep the hands up, rock to the toes, stick to the heels, lift the toes, rock the toes, lift the heels, right? One more time, forward and back. And then heels drop down, whole sole of the foot, exhale, fold, come all the way down. Uttanasana. Inhale, shine your heart, halfway lift. exhale, forward fold. This time, baby bend the knees, right? This is good that we can spring this right foot back, keeping a bend in that left knee so you're back in your lunge position. Sink the hips. And now again, either come light to the fingertips or hover the fingertips that you're not using this left leg as a crutch. Right? Don't collapse your weight to that. One more inhale. And then exhale, drop that right hand down under the shoulder. Inhale, peel that left hand to the sky, big twisted lunge. Sink the hips. You might have to move that right foot back a little bit. Take a big inhale, lean back a little further. And exhale, drop that left hand down, frame the foot. Inhale, either step back to plank and flow or down dog. From here, you would inhale, come forward to plank, and then exhale, take your vinyasa if that's what you want to do today. Let's let out a cleansing breath. So let's visualize again. Inhale, you're going to visualize that white light coming up through the feet, coming back down the spine. Exhale, let it go out of the mouth, out of the crown. Inhale, right foot high to the sky this time. Exhale, round it out. Knee to the nose. Hold it for a moment. And then step that sole of the foot top of the mat between the hands. Adjust as needed. And then this time we're going to come right to high lunge. And I say right to high lunge, not as in to rush there, but just skipping any hover or anything like that. All right, so once you're up, make sure that your hips aren't up, right? Whenever we come into high lunge, we have this tendency of wanting to lift. Let's fully drop into the pose. You're gonna feel intensity enhanced in that left leg, right hip. Big inhale. On the exhale, let's take prayer hands to heart space. Inhale, tip the body forward. Now maybe you stay here. Maybe you take a twist over to the right, left elbow hooks. Maybe you pivot left foot back a little bit. Maybe you drop that left knee down, untuck the toes. We're here for 3 breaths. Again, just still warming and opening the body. Inhale, we're gonna come back to center, and then we're gonna drop that back knee down if it's not already there. If you have to take the hands down to drop the knee, do that. We'll untuck the toes. Inhale, hands to the sky. So we'll stay here for 3 breaths. Again, we're still just opening the body. And then third, exhale, prayer hands to heart space. Now we're going to come back to that twist, only with that back knee down. Now again, if it honors you were to stay center and you don't want to twist, then please stay center. And always listen to me second. And I'm just sort of suggesting things for you to put your body into. You do whatever works for you. Inhale, come back center. Exhale, hands drop down. Frame the foot. Let's tuck back toes, lift up off the knee, and step back down dog. So we're coming all the way back to down dog this time just to twist the hips a little bit. So let's just rock the knees towards the center of the mat. And then we're back down dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale is when you can take your flow, or you skip plank altogether. Optional child's pose this round. We've got about 5 breaths before we take it to the other side. And then if you are in your Balasana, your child's pose, let's lift back up to down dog. Inhale, left heel nice and high. And then exhale, pull that knee towards the nose. Again, you're gonna round it out, squeeze the belly, activate, and then step that foot top of the mat. Adjust as needed before you come up to your high lunge. Hands up. Now again, try to sink the hips, come all the way into the posture. Right, hips are squared in the front of the mat. That left foot is parallel to the long edge, so you don't want the toes in any angle. Big inhale. And then exhale, prayer hands to heart space. Inhale, tip the body forward, set energy out of that right heel. Now maybe you stay here, or maybe you twist over to the left and that right elbow hooks. Maybe you take this back knee all the way down. 2 or so breaths. Again, just creating space, warming the muscles. And then we're going to inhale, come back to center. If that knee is up, you're going to drop the knee down, even if that means you drop the hands first. Untuck the toes. And then we're all going to inhale, come all the way up. Soften in. So full crescent.
Send the pinky edges of the fingers toward each other. So this is going to create a lot of space in the upper back as opposed to just jutting the shoulders down. Big breath in. Exhale, prayer hands to heart space. Now, same thing, option to stay. You can take the hands right back down for support. Otherwise, take that twist over to the left, right elbow hooks. Breathe here. Next, inhale, you're gonna twist back to center. Drop the hands to frame the foot, tuck back toes, lift up off the knee, and inhale, step back, down dog. Now again, we're all coming back, down dog. Don't come to plank this round because we're gonna twist the hips a little bit again. Great, notice that space that you created here. And then we'll draw the energy of the heels back down, take a breath in, down dog. And then if you'd like to flow, roll on forward to Phalakasana. Right, just try to move fluidly, like think of your body as a wave. And then same option for child's pose for about 5 breaths. Next breath, let's come up, down dog. And we'll hop into our first real standing flow. So let's inhale that right heel high to the sky. Exhale, take that knee all the way towards the nose, round out. Step it top of the mat. Good, from here, let's hands up, high lunge, come all the way up to the sky. Good. Now you have the option to stay here for a few breaths. If you want to intensify, you would reach both hands forward, crisscross left arm up and over the right, find your eagle wrap. Inhale, you would lift the elbows, again, just an option. Exhale, pull the elbows towards the ribs, hover the body. Inhale, come back up. Really squeeze the inner thighs if you're doing this. Exhale, round it out. One more, or again, you're just hanging in high lunge, whatever serves you. Exhale, pull it forward. We're gonna hold there for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come right back up. Now we're all gonna meet back high lunge. On the exhale, open up warrior 2. So you're gonna seal that back heel. That should be the other way. And just slice those arms. Reach energy out of the fingertips. Look for your right big toe. Hips square to the long edge of the mat. And breathe. Inhale, we're gonna straighten that right leg. Take the palms to touch up and overhead. And then you're gonna pivot right toes to the long edge of the mat. We're gonna come back to a twist. So exhale, fold. We're gonna reach this right hand just like we did earlier towards the left foot. Doesn't matter if it's the mat, the ankle, the shin, the toe, and lift this left hand up. Now, same thing, relax the head, relax the upper body. You don't have to be doing any work in upper body here. Now, exhale, drop that left hand down. We're gonna walk to the center of our mat. Inhale, come to a flat back. Exhale, out of the mouth, forward fold. Then let's bend the knees a little bit, rolling round, come all the way to stand, nice and slow. Then we're gonna take both hands to the low back. So one palm for either side, and then just a micro back bend here. You don't have to go very far. Just open up. You should feel a release in the lumbar region of your spine, which is your low back region. Then let's come to align the spine. You're gonna send the right toes back to the top of your mat. Let's extend the arms out into a T, palms face the long edge, and then exhale, right hand's gonna reach all the way forward, tip down, Trikonasana triangle pose. Right hand to the earth, left hand up. Now try to keep a single line of energy from the right fingertips to the left fingertips, right? So you're not reaching this left hand on a diagonal line. Gaze can be down to the right hand, center, or up to the left hand. And just breathe here. Next, exhale, drop this left hand down to meet the right. We're gonna take the right foot to frame out, the right hand to frame out the right foot. And then we're gonna take a baby step forward and send those left toes to the top of the mat for pyramid pose. Okay, so it might take a second to transition into this one. Take your time. We're only gonna be here for about 3 breaths, but you should feel a deep opening in the back of this right leg already. If we haven't done much work in the hamstring, so just breathe into that. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift.
Exhale, take a step to the top of the mat with that left foot. Let's sink right to chair pose. Bend the knees, drop it down, reach those arms up, 2 full breaths. I know that you can always skip a pose if you want. I can't see you, so I won't know. Inhale, reach those fingertips all the way to the sky. And exhale, fold, come all the way down. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, melt to Uttanasana, little bends in the knees. Plant the hands. You're either gonna hop back, top of the exhale, or inhale, step right foot back. Exhale, left foot steps back to meet. And then take your flow if you would like to flow. And whatever you need. Two or three more breaths, then we'll take it to the other side. Inhale, left heel's gonna lift. Exhale, draw that knee again all the way in towards the nose, round it out, and then step the foot top of the mat. From here, anchor the feet in. We're gonna slowly come up to high lunge. Breathe in here. Sinking in. And then let's reach both of those hands straight ahead. If you'd like, if you took this opposite side. Right arm's gonna crisscross up and over, find your eagle wrap. And then inhale, lift the elbows. You can always come to a knee down lunge here as well. Otherwise, exhale, elbows to the ribs. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, hug and round. One more, big inhale. And then exhale, you're gonna squeeze, activate, hold it for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep those hands to the sky. So we're all meeting high lunge. Exhale, warrior 2. Drop that back heel, slice it open, widen your stance just a little bit. Elongate the arms. Breathe. Let's inhale, straighten left leg, take palms to touch up and overhead. You're gonna pivot left toes towards the long edge of the mat. Now we're coming back to that twist, so exhale, fold. Left hand towards that right foot, right leg to the earth near the foot, and then right hand up. Top body is heavy. And breathe. Next, exhale, drop that right hand down. We're gonna walk to center, and then this time walk the hands back behind you. So take the fingertips to the earth and reach to the wall that's behind the buttocks. Breathe, send some energy into the toes and the heels, but don't topple forward, please. And then relax, right? Notice if you're clenching and engaging here, try to soften in. We're here for at least 5 more breaths. And then we're gonna walk the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, come to a flat back half lift. Big inhale. Cleansing breath out as you fold. Little bend in the knees. We're gonna roll around, come back up again. And take your time, especially being that we were forward folded and you're gonna rush and get a head rush. Let's take both hands to the low back once more, fingertips pointing down. And then just take that micro back bend. Right now, maybe you wanna come further than a micro back bend this time. You can walk the hands down the backs of the legs. If that's in your practice, we've got 3 breaths here. Okay, so just listen to you wherever you are. I always like to add this extra flows or extra whatever I'm trying to say. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. For anybody who's got a deeper practice, right? I want to try to honor everybody. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then we're going to reach those arms out into a long line of energy. Palms face this long edge of the mat that's in front of you. Left toes point back towards the top edge of your mat. Exhale, left hand reaches forward. And then take this left hand to the shin, to the earth. And then reach that right hand up or to something. Right, anything underneath you that's supportive. I've heard a lot of creative ideas, books, boxes, a supportive jar. One more inhale. Now exhale, right hand's gonna drop down. You're gonna replace the left. Send this left hand frame out the foot, pivot the right toes forward, and then take a baby step forward with that right foot. So again, both sets of feet are pointing to the front of your mat. Those right set of toes might actually be on a slight angle towards the top right corner. Okay, so that's okay too.
And then just hang the top body heavy, right? So if you're in a halfway lift like me, try to just relax and pull 3 deep breaths. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, right foot steps, top of the mat. We're coming right to chair pose. Sink it in, reach it up. Now, again, I know chair is usually one of people's least favorite postures. So if you're skipping it, I don't know. Just honor yourself. One more breath. And then inhale, push all the way to the sky. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart space this time. So we're going to come into eagle today. Let's just shimmy out, shake off any energy that you may have, pulled up. And then we're going to start out, excuse me, by grounding down to the right foot first. So spread the right toes. This is the most important part of grounding postures. I cannot stress this enough. Spread the toes, lift the heel, make sure you're anchored. Let's work on the arms first. So inhale, reach it out. Exhale, palms face down, right arm on top of the left. Find your eagle wrap or just grab for the shoulders. From here, little bend in the knees. So grounding down through that right foot, let's start to tap the left toes out. Find a state of stability first, and then we'll crisscross, pull this left leg up and over. Maybe you hover, maybe you take those left toes right down to the earth. That's perfect too. And then sink. All right, so don't sink forward, but more sink down. And then try to channel the spirit of the eagle, right? This is eagle pose, Garudasana. Right? Agile yet strong, focused. And embody this. We're here for 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come all the way up, pull this left knee up and in. Drop the foot down. We're gonna inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. And exhale, forward fold, take it all the way to the earth. Now you have the option to just hang out in forward fold for about 5 breaths. If you wanna take a twisted chair, you can take the inner edges of the feet attached, sink it down, prayer hands, heart space, twist to the right. Right now again, or just hang out in your forward fold. Otherwise, we've got about 4 breaths here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Let's shimmy the feet back under the hips. If you did take that side chair, inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. We're going to roll and round, being that some of us were forward folded for a longer period of time. Just come right back up to stand. Shrug or two of the shoulders, open back up. And then we're going to ground down to this left foot. So again, please focus on the sole of the foot. This is your root. This is your grounding. And think about a plant. Without a strong, stable root system, it's never going to grow, never going to stay healthy. Right, so from here, open up, full wingspan. You're going to crisscross the left arm up and over the right. And again, either bend the elbows, take the palms toward each other, grab the shoulders. Little bend in the knees. So start to activate left glute, left quad, and then tap those right toes out. Right now, if you're not stable here, you're never going to be stable in the pose. So find your grounding. And then inhale, right knee up and in. Crisscross applesauce, take it right on over. And again, either you're sinking straight down or just drop those toes for a little added support. Breathe. Come back to that channeling of the eagle spirit. Right? Focused, determined, strong, agile, graceful. Take 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come all the way up, pull that right knee up and in. Drop the foot down, inhale, sweep to the sky. Exhale, fold to your mat, heart center guides you. Now option here, again, hang out in your forward fold about 5 breaths, or shimmy those feet back to touch. Bend the knees, sink your seat, prayer hands, heart space, and then take a twist over to the left. So again, we've got about 4 breaths in our twisted chair. If we took it on the other side, let's even ourselves out. Great, so try not to skip chair. If you did do a twist on the other side, we want to be even. 1 more breath. And then inhale, come back center, root to rise, come all the way up. And exhale, we're all going to meet forward fold. Now, if your feet are touching, let's take them back to hip distance. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, melt and fold. Option again, bend the knees, hop if you hop last round. Otherwise, left foot steps back. And then the right, take a flow here. And let's all meet child's pose, hips to heels.
5 deep breaths. And now within these 5 deep breaths, start to take notice. Right? Have you sort of let any monkey mind chatter go throughout the practice? And have you sort of, again, let it be? Notice how easy it is when we're in asana practice. Right? Because we're focusing our attention on something else. And the same thing goes for meditation, right? Meditation is so wonderful for that monkey mind because we're focusing our mind on something else, right? If we're thinking about breathing, we can't be thinking about worrying because our mind doesn't work that way. We can't think about 2 things at once. Okay, so sometimes when we're worrying, all we have to do is distract ourselves. I think for an example, a good analogy would be a child crying. Right? If a child is upset about something, right? The best way to get them to not be upset anymore is to distract them. Show them a toy, right? And bring up something that's going to make their mind go elsewhere. And we're really not very different from children. We're all children at one point in our lives. We still hold that inner child within us. So maybe we have to start treating ourselves a little bit more like a child, right? To honor that aspect of ourselves, distract our minds from the worry. Next inhale, let's come to a tabletop position. Now from tabletop, we're gonna find puppy dog pose. Puppy dog might not be for everybody. It is a very deep shoulder stretch. So if it's not working for you, what you're going to do is just come back to child's pose. Otherwise, what your goal is to keep the hips above the knees. So it's similar to child's pose. You're gonna walk the hands out, and then again, don't move those hips. You're gonna start to draw the heart space down to the earth, so you're melting. It's also known as heart melting posture, if you can get the gist of why it's called that. Right, now again, you can take the chin down, you can take the forehead down if they touch. And we're just gonna stay for about 3 deep breaths. I know it is intense in the shoulders, so again, if this does not work for you, sink the child's pose, so it's just as good. Otherwise, if you are in puppy dog pose, what you're gonna do is just shift the shoulders over the elbows, anchor in the forearms, tuck the toes, lift to a forearm plank. Now, if you're in child's pose, you can come to this, or you can drop right to the hips and come to Sphinx pose. We are gonna get there in 2 breaths. Right, so just a little added activity, little active yang energy. And then exhale, we're all gonna drop those hips. Tops the feet to the mat, either hip distance, or you can take them to mat distance, whatever works for you. And then just push the belly button down, push the hip points down. And start to lift the chin up and away from the sternum, soften the shoulders away from the ears. And your active gets soft in the arms, so don't collapse. But don't clench too much here, right? It is a restorative version of this posture. Let's take 2 more full breaths in our Sphinx pose, which is technically a modification of Cobra pose. It's just a variation. And then exhale, you're gonna come all the way down to the earth, and we're gonna flip right to our backs here. So from your backs, just hug the knees in. We're gonna come into a hip opener while we're here. So as you arrive all the way to your backs and your knees are squeezed in, you're gonna anchor the left foot back down to the mat. So sole of foot to the earth, kneecap up to the sky. Let's pull this right knee out and away from the body towards the right edge of the mat. And then take the outer right ankle point, top of that left thigh, right towards the top, towards that left knee. Now you can stay where you are, or you can hug this left knee in, interlace underneath the left thigh. Now, if you want to take a regular pigeon, you're more than welcome to flip yourself around and come right to pigeon pose. This is what I am suggesting for today. If you've got a deeper posture that you want to take, by all means, always take that. Right, in or out of the studio, I always recommended that. And so don't ever feel like you're disrespecting me in any way, because I want you to respect your body before you respect me. Right, now that goes differently for every teacher. Right? There are some teachers who don't want you doing things different, and there are some teachers who recommend it. But that goes differently for every person. Unclench the jaw. And try to soften the shoulders as best as you can. Now, option to stay as you are for 5 more breaths, or if you want to switch up the hip stretch a little bit, what you can do is release the grip and slide the right leg all the way over the left. So as if you were crossing your legs in a chair. And then you can just hug the knees in here, maybe grabbing one palm for each knee, or you can grab for the heels or the feet and draw the feet apart and then hug the knees in. Right? But try to do this if you can relax the elbows down so you're more in a relaxed state. Otherwise, I find that just gently holding onto the kneecaps and relaxing the arms and the shoulders is the better way to support yourself. And again, you can always try this pose. If you're like, don't like it, come right back, right? Simple as that. Otherwise, you've got 3 more breaths wherever you are. And then we're going to release the grip. We're all going to unwind the legs, whatever pretzel you're in, and then hug those knees in towards the heart. So as you hug, you should feel this intensity here that you just worked out in that right hip. Let's come to happy baby between sides. So knees out wide, soles of the feet to the sky. And now option to maybe take gentle rocks. Now, always an option, but if you're rocking, maybe slowly rock, you tap that right knee to the earth. And then come back to center. Slowly rock, tap that left knee to the earth. Think of this as a moving meditation. And notice how soothing it is, right? Similar to how you would rock a baby. There's something about the rocking motion that is just so soothing and calming. Let's rock back to center. Hug the knees back in. And then we're going to drop that right foot down, crisscross, left ankle point, top of that right thigh. Now maybe you stay again, or maybe you hug this right knee in, interlace underneath the right thigh, and just draw that right kneecap closer and closer to the face. Flex the left foot. And try to make sure that this left shin is parallel to where the ceiling and the wall meet. And so you don't want the leg on a diagonal line here. You want to be nice and aligned. Soften the shoulders. Unclench the jaw if you find it clenched and engaged. And breathe deeply here. Now we're reaching that part of the practice where it's not as easy to settle the monkey mind. So if you notice those worries creeping back up or things from the past creeping back up, that is completely normal for deep hip openers like this. Right? Things typically, especially from the past, get pulled up only to be felt and released. Right? Not for any reason. They're not here to torture you. They're asking to be let go. Okay? When we can finally learn to let them go, they stop annoying us. And we can detach, right? We only are annoyed by things that we allow to annoy us. Yeah, I know that's a tough one to accept. All right, now if you have this grip and you would like to take that supine shoestring again, you can release, crisscross that left leg all the way over. And again, maybe you grab for the kneecaps or the heels if you can release the elbows, relax the elbows. We've got about 4 more breaths. All right, if you're in the shoestring or whatever hip opener, you're going to release, hug those knees in. Notice that left hip here. And then we're going to come into any sort of inversion that we feel called to, right? If you're really itching for headstand, you're welcome to take that. It seems lower energy today, so I'm not going to really offer that unless it's something that you really want. Otherwise, just send the feet to the sky. Again, if you're itching for shoulder stand, you can take that as well, but I am sticking with legs up the wall, so an active inversion here. So if you're shoulder standing or headstand, you take that at your own pace. I'm going to continue to guide through the posture that I'm in for everyone in that posture. Flex the feet, push the low back into the earth. So you should be active in the belly here. Drop the shoulders. And then exhale, take those heels halfway to the earth, and you're going to start to pedal the legs as if you're on an invisible bicycle. Keep pushing the shoulders down, low back, anchors down. And breathe, don't hold the breath. Come back the other way. Stay with your breath. I know it's so easy to hold the breath in this movement. Continue to breathe. There's really not much to align the breath. I think that's why it's so difficult.
Take one more little circle, then we're gonna hug those knees in. Let's lift the chin up to the kneecaps. And then exhale, release the base of the skull down. We're coming into a twist on that right side. So just drop both knees all the way over, stack the knees, extend that left arm nice and low.
3 deep breaths here. Inhale, take the knees back to the sky. And exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, let's come back to center. Squeeze those knees in one more time. Give yourself a big hug. And then we're going to relax into Shavasana. Unless there's anything else that you need, please honor that. We've got about 5 minutes to soften into stillness. So I'm going to allow everybody to come down at their own pace, set themselves up as you arrive. Take the time to observe every part of the body from the toes to the crown of the head and just ensure relaxation in each and every part. And when the night is cloudy and there is still a light that shines on me, shine until tomorrow. Let it be. We have to learn to just let things be in life. We try so hard to control our existence, to control what others think. And sometimes patience and trust are really the best defenses in terms of that. And let's begin to wake up the body. If you haven't already done so, wiggle around. And whenever you feel ready, we're going to hug those knees in towards the heart. Rolling to either side of the body. And then we'll just come up and meet in our Sukhasana once more in your own time. And as you arrive, we're going to meet our hands to our heart center here. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, realign the spine so straighten up nice and tall. And if you'd like to seal with an Om, we'll invite a deep breath in now. That light within me honors that same beautiful light within each of you. Try not to let your worries get the best of you. And know that if anything does get the best of you, it's simply because you allowed it. Take your control back in this life over your mind, over your body, over everything. Because you have far more control than you allow yourselves to believe. Have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.